here, dude.
What's up?
CJ Price.
Yeah,
We got CJ Price in the room, everybody.
in the apartment.
In the apartment, dude.
Air conditioning in the valley. Hell yeah.
We need it.
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
Nope.
You don't have air conditioning in your place?
No.
No
I live in
kidding.
a 100-year-old building. There's no air conditioning at all. We bought a portable one for like $130 on Amazon. So you just know it's going to be a piece of shit. But we have to like put water in it for it to work for like 13 hours at a time. And then you have to refill it with water. It's an experience.
Especially for this summer, dude. It feels like it's
Yeah.
going to be a hot one, man.
I'm going to need it though. But there's no other way of getting it because like we live on the 7th floor. So installing a window unit would require a really tall ladder, like to like get out there and like install it into the wall. So the landlord informed me that that's not going to happen. Is what he told me. So
It's like one of those window things?
yeah, like a swamp cooler,
okay,
unit. So,
yeah.
And then we looked at portable ones, which are the ones that just like sit on the floor and you have to feed like a hose through it. But it looks so bad that I'd rather be hot than just have this behemoth in my apartment.
Do you guys have heater in there?
Yeah, we have a heater, but
just
we're
no
not using it at the moment. Yeah, we're not using it in the summer.
Well, before we get the episode fully started, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor. We've got a sponsor on the show, right?
Oh, wow.
Our official sponsor for this episode is Hugo Boss, the official producer of the Third Reich uniform. CJ, you look like you've got some Hugo
Okay.
Boss in your closet. Is the fabric still as soft as the Nazis say they were?
I don't want to do that. I knew where you were going with that. I'm not going to answer the question. I'm not going to dignify that with a response. That sucked.
This is just a roast
I
battle,
don't
dude.
like that you did that. No, it's not a roast. That's just you calling me a Nazi. That's not a roast. That's not the way a roast works. That's just you pulling. I drove here. I used my gasoline to come here, not get paid to be on the second episode of your podcast that no one's going to watch for you to call me a Nazi, essentially. As soon as you said sponsored by Hugo Boss, I was like, this fucking guy. Like, I knew exactly where it was going. If you would have said Doc Martens, same thing. I would have known exactly where it was going. How's it feel to stomp on Jews? Like, how's it feel? Everybody has the same jokes lined up for me. The same stuff. I'm done. I don't want to be called a Nazi anymore.
Fair enough.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. America and the Philippines, where this is broadcasting to, I'm tired of being called a Nazi. I'm done. I don't like it. I don't think it's that funny. I don't think Nazis were that funny of people. I really don't. I don't think they were. I mean, the voice is a little silly, and the belief system is silly. But other than that, they're not funny.
They're not funny people. No, not at all. Well, we'll move on from that then.
All right, why don't we talk about you, fucking Duarte or whatever? Like, Filipinos got some skeletons currently in the closet. You guys have a Hitler currently in control of your people.
Hitlers. We've had Hitlers.
You've
like
had
consecutive.
in a row.
In a
so
row.
that's just
since Hitler. There's just been, dude, it's bad. Like my parents had to move out here.
really
Yeah, my dad. Yeah.
and just ruin the country.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, great.
It's a beautiful country though, from what I hear. I've never
Philippines? You've never
been.
gone?
I've never gone. No.
Why
I've-
not? Because there's dictators.
Well, that and when
family fled?
when I was growing up, me and my sister would always hear these horror stories of how dangerous the Philippines was. So my whole life, I was just like, well, I'm not going to go there. It's a third world country and all this stuff. And they would freak me out because they're like, especially if they know that you're American and you speak it. You know what I mean? And so I was always shady about it, like going there. But my sister and my mom got to go right before the pandemic. My sister loved it. It was her first time there.
It's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think it'd be scary because I lived near a Jollibee for 8 years, and that's the least intimidating place on earth.
Have you gone to Jollibee?
Yeah, it's not good. It's,
What?
No, it's fine. Compared to
What'd
like,
you have?
What I've tried the spaghetti with cheese on it and a side of fried chicken. I've had the burger, which is one of the worst burgers of all time.
I've never had the burger, dude.
I tried their hollow.
You don't like Halo Halo?
I like hollow. I don't like
Jollibee.
Jollibee hollow. I didn't think it was as good as the line for it makes it out to be.
I got you.
And then I don't know. The mascot doesn't lead me to think intimidating at all because it just looks like the Filipino bee-man from The Simpsons. That's what it
The
reminds me
Filipino
of.
version of the bee.
Yeah,
man?
the Filipino version of the bee from The Simpsons. Oh shit. Philippines, and you've never gone, so you were born and I'm interviewing you. So you were born and raised in the States.
I was born in Hawaii.
okay.
Grew up there for 7 years, and then my mom moved to Vegas to open up a business. She was there for like 6 months, and then we all moved. Me, my sister, and my dad moved out there to meet her.
What kind of business?
Healthcare. She opened up like an old folks home.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's right.
Yeah, I used to live in one, dude, since I was 7.
You lived in
I
retirement?
Yeah, yeah. It started off with my mom had this building, and then like there was like a storage room in the back.
Okay.
Of the it was a house, but there's a storage house at the back, and that's where we lived. There's no toilets, nothing. We had to poop in a fucking bucket, dude. And we got here. Like
Sounds like you have been to the Philippines.
dude, it's weird because a lot of Filipinos, especially like even when they make money, they'll still. It's like that old saying: you can take the person out of the barrio, but you can't take the barrio out of the person. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know that saying.
But yeah, dude, it was a wild time, dude. And the thing that sucked was it was winter time, so I was not used to the cold.
Okay.
So I broke out in this crazy rash, dude, for like 3 months.
Really?
It was just. All right, well, we're just gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Sorry about that, folks. There's looks like there's people working in the back.
They're done listening.
Yeah, no,
They've
no
been
one's
gone.
listening.
They've been gone.
No one's listening.
They've been gone. Ever since I talked shit on the Philippines, they've been gone, dude. That's the whole fan base.
So you've never been outside of America, huh?
No, I mean I've been to Tijuana, but
Right.
I mean that's if you ask my girlfriend, that's America. North America's America. Come on, we know what the real America is. But I've been to Tijuana before, which that's basically San Diego. Right. No, like that doesn't feel like you're anywhere else. Like they won't. Like I got pesos from my mom. Got pesos from an ATM machine. She didn't think it would give her pesos. That's we'll get into that. But like we tried buying stuff with the pesos in Mexico, like from vendors and stuff like that, and they wouldn't take it from us. They're like, no, American money only from you.
Are you
guys.
serious?
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Of course they're gonna want that instead
That's
of
true,
the
right.
pesos, like the exchange rate and all that.
That's
Like
very true.
it's worth more. That's just a fact. But I remember my mom went to the ATM because she was like running out of cash. And she didn't want to use like a card there, or maybe you couldn't use a card. It was street vendors pretty much everywhere. And then she puts her card in, which I didn't know how the bank down there would work with her card, but it did, and it gave her pesos out. And I remember her being shocked by the ATM in Mexico giving her Mexican currency. And I just remember, even I was like an 8th grader, and I remember being like, yeah, Mom, what did you think would happen? It's like if someone goes to a bank in America, you're going to get American currency. If you go to a bank in Mexico, what currency do you think you're going to get? It's not like they're just like, they didn't like read your face and they're like, oh, well,
She wants some dollars.
she wants dollar bills, which are worth substantially more than these
Yeah.
pesos. Yeah. And then we couldn't buy anything. So then we had to like make our way back. And like she got a taxi that would take the pesos from her, but she had to like wildly overpay just so we could get back to the border of San Diego.
That is wild.
That's my only experience leaving the country. And now that's why I refuse to go anywhere else. Because I'm not going to go to some fucking bank in Paris and be given whatever Paris money is. No way. You're giving me American dollars. And if you don't want to take them when I'm in your country, if you don't want to take my American money, then guess what? I'm walking. I'm eating somewhere else. Or I'm not eating at all. I'd rather starve than spend your Pierre dollars or whatever they're called.
Pierre, you talking about Paris?
Yeah, what's the...
They're still using euros.
They use euros?
Yeah, they use euros.
No.
And then like what?
I thought that went away. I thought when Brexit happened, the euro was supposed to crash and everything was supposed to be destroyed. And it looks like everything's the same.
It looks like everything's beautiful out there, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in like support of Brexit. I'm not against Brexit. I honestly didn't know what it was. It sounded like a food item.
I don't think anyone knew what it was. I don't even think they knew what it was.
No, they didn't know what they were getting.
They were just like, all right, we're just gonna call this Brexit. And
Yeah,
that was it.
I just remember like a lot of like my liberal friends being like, this is the end of the world economy. And I was like, wow, that sounds insane. Why would they do that? And then it happened, and then like the prime minister resigned like immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
David Cameron, was that his name?
Well, and no,
it was David Cameron. That was
the prime
that was
minister. Yeah,
was Canada David Cameron? Who cares? Who gives a shit? This is America. Donald
America,
Trump's still
baby.
president. He won. Biden fixed it. Double the votes. Every vote for Biden counted as 2. You can read the old Dominion machines, man. They're fucking telling you 2 votes for Biden. Check out Roseanne Barr on Theo Vaughn. She lays it all out for you. I don't believe anything I just said. I don't believe anything that I just said. I voted for Biden. Biden is rightfully president. Barack Obama is the greatest president of all time. And you could believe that. Sorry, I'm just going all over the place.
You're good, dude. You're good.
I just left fourth wall, so I got a lot of things to say.
That's right. That's right. Fourth wall today. You did fourth wall.
Yeah.
The improv did.
Yeah, great.
So you got a lot of shows coming up this week, man.
Not next week. Next week's pretty good for me. Yeah. This week I just got something tonight, Monday, at Third Wheel. I'm like helping host something. Okay. But next week's pretty good. Going to Santa Barbara, gonna be in North Hollywood, gonna be all over Southern California. So it should be a good time. Yeah.
They got some comedy clubs up there? That's crazy.
No, it's like a bar show.
Got it.
Yeah, that I don't get booked at a lot of comedy clubs. It's mostly bars. And
that's wild to me, bro. Seriously, that is wild to me that you don't get booked at comedy clubs.
I'm a nobody.
Dude, but
you
gotta funny as hell.
Dude. Thank you, I appreciate that. But you gotta sell tickets, and if you're not selling tickets, if you're not making them money, why would they want to make you money? Like
right.
That's it's a business,
right?
Is what it is, and I completely understand that. There's a lot of people who think they should be headlining clubs, but have 1,000 followers on Instagram and don't even have a YouTube account. Like they're not even like signed into YouTube, so they have like no videos out there of that showcasing their stuff, no Instagram reels out, 1,000 followers, and they're like, I'm ready to do Brea. I can sell 450 tickets. I'm absolutely ready to do Brea, and I'm just not in that mindset.
Right.
Like I just put in the work, good things will come, and then you'll do the things you want to do. Like that's just, and then it works from there. Right. And also, you don't want to rush stuff because we're seeing a lot of like these. Like TikTok celebrities, YouTubers, and stuff like that, who want to be stand-up comedians,
right.
And then because of their following, they get put in a place where they get these big shows, but they're not ready.
Yeah,
they're not good enough.
That was something I didn't know coming into comedy. How that like kind of that. I don't want to call it like conflict or anything, but just the two differences in that. You know what I mean? Just influencers and real stand-up comics, dude. Yeah. And that, I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's a business, so these people have hundreds of thousands of people following them, so they're just gonna go up there and
they could sell out a 500-seater. They could sell out 1,000 seats,
and they're usually the main act.
Yeah, they usually headline. So they'll bring actual experienced comedians to host and feature, or usually for shows like that, the club will book the host and the feature because they don't have their own. Most like headliners that are actual stand-up comedians have their own feature or their own host or something like that. Or they'll just use like a local guy. But the YouTubers and the TikTok celebrities, they don't have a built-in one who they came up with in stand-up. So they'll use who the club gives them. And the people that the club give them are usually much better than them at stand-up. Right. But the crowd isn't there for them, so it doesn't matter. Like they'll do great. They're better stand-ups. They'll get the show all warmed up, and then the headliner will come out there for 35, 40 minutes, do fine, because it's a hot room that wants to see them, but you can see the disparity between like the quality of stand-up. Like really clearly you can see it. But they're selling tickets. Yeah. And the good stand-ups aren't because they're nobodies. Yeah.
That kind of sucks, dude. That
it's
really
the business.
Sucks. Yeah.
You know? It doesn't sound fair, but like technically it is.
On the business side.
Yeah. You know, if you're not making them money, why would they waste a day on their calendar? Like they do a lot of clubs want to like foster young talent, bring people up, give people opportunities, sure. But the bottom line is they got to pay employees, they got to pay rent, they got to, pay the other headlining acts and stuff. So it makes perfect sense. It doesn't sound fair on the surface, but once you just dig one level deeper, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. And that's just the way it is and always will be. And I think that's fair.
So we talked a lot, obviously, and you said you've been doing stand-up for 2 years and improv before that. I want to know, why that switch, or maybe there wasn't a switch, but why that switch from improv to stand-up? What was going on through your mind there?
So I always liked stand-up more. I always liked watching stand-up more and hanging out with stand-ups more. And I would like try it from time to time. Like I would do like a mic, and then I would quit for like a year. I would do like 2 open mics, quit for 2 years.
Why?
And stuff like that. I hate the waiting to get up on stage.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite thing in the world. Like I have learned to be more supportive now and learn that that's just part of the game, is like you just got to wait your turn. But at that time I wasn't like mature enough or smart enough to understand that.
Patient
like,
enough.
Yeah, definitely not patient enough. I was an idiot, and I still am an idiot for thinking that this is a career choice. But I would sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours at like a mic where it was like bucket polls. So
Okay.
it's like random lottery. You put your name in a bucket, they draw them. Sometimes you don't get up at those because they got it in the mic. The restaurant's closing, the theater that it's at, the club that it's at or whatever needs to move on to something else. So you just didn't get up. And I remember sitting there for 2 hours and not getting up and being like, I just sat here for 2 hours and watched the worst show I've ever seen in my life and didn't get any stage time. So then I was like, I'm going to focus on improv and sketch and all that because I thought what I wanted to do was be on SNL, like, or write for late night television, or maybe host late night TV. But then I started seeing like the shift in the industry away from that like medium and stuff like that. I saw the writing on the wall of like the crash of improv because like I started thinking that Bob Odenkirk said in like 2015 that the crash is inevitable. And I remember reading that and seeing the scene in Los Angeles of like UCB, IO, Nerd Melt, which used to be open at Meltdown Comics, which is now like an apartment complex or something like that. Second City, Groundlings. Groundlings and UCB are still going, but UCB is way smaller, and then Groundlings is about the same as they were. And then slowly, little by little, these places just started getting ticked away. Like Meltdown got bought out by a big corporation, so they tore that whole building down. So we lost the Nerd Melt stage, and then the Nerdist Theater, which was their improv theater, which was to the side of Nerd Melt. IO West went out of business, which then led to IO going out of business. Pandemic hit. And then it took out Second City, which is where I did a majority of my training. All here in LA, by the way. This is all here in LA. And then it also took out UCB New York. Like, I don't think they have anything out there anymore. I don't think they have their theaters anymore. Yeah, I think UCB New York is done.
What was
they just
the
have
shift?
Franklin.
What was what happened? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what caused it. It's just I started seeing these places just drop and everything like that, and it was lower opportunities for someone like me because the industry is looking for diversity right now, which is great. I think that should happen. I think movies and TV shows should reflect the country that we live in, which is a diverse country made of many different people. I just didn't think I was talented enough to be the white guy that gets picked. I just wasn't. I didn't fit the bill of that in improv.
I see.
It was a very specific type of white guy in improv, and that's just not who I was, and I wasn't like gonna pretend to be that type of
100%.
white guy. Like I'm not extremely to the left. I'm not to the right. I'm a centrist, and like to make it in that side of the industry, you have to be completely to the left.
Yeah.
And all of your belief systems and everything you say has to be PC and everything. And I was just like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And then stand up was something like this was right before the pandemic. I was like, you could say what you want. Like I'm not out there saying hate speech or anything like that. It's just there's a lot of things that are off limits in improv and sketch that aren't in stand-up that you're able to like talk about in the context of a joke. So I started doing that right before the pandemic. Wasn't taking it seriously. I was doing like twice a week. And then that was like a month. And then pandemic hit. Just stayed at home. And then February of 2021, I was like, all right. I learned about Fourth Wall. I learned about this place called Flashback. And then Can't Even Comedy, which is now in Austin, Texas. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start going to these places. And then I was like, every day I'm going to do this. And I was like, and I'll get back to improv when that starts up. But I enjoyed stand-up so much more than improv that I just decided to stick with it. That was such a long-winded answer. That was
No, not even, dude.
Man,
That's
that
what
was
I'm looking
rambling.
for. That's what I'm looking for,
Yeah?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That felt like rambling to me. But yeah, and I've been doing stand-up every single day. I mean, with the occasional day off if I'm sick. Family stuff gets in the way, or like if it's a travel day or something like that, that's the only time I will take a day off. But other than that, it's every single day, 7 days a week, at least one. But my goal is to do 3 sets a night, every single night. So I try to hit 21 in a week, every week. And it gets tough. Sometimes you're not able to do it. But I think that's what's necessary to get good at this. Because I see a lot of people coming in it, and they're like, oh, well, I got to take Sundays off. And I'm like, why? And they're like, that's just the day where me and my girlfriend watch TV together. And I'm like, okay, we should quit now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a fact. I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people think that's harsh. But if you can't give every single day of your life to it, then you should quit. Because you're not going to succeed. I don't think.
Right. I think that's for everything, dude, right?
Yeah,
like, you got to be obsessed with it. Like
every discipline, yes.
I remember when I first met you, you were just like the Mamba mentality, dude. And it was crazy. I don't know if you Have you ever read the book Relentless by Tim Grover?
No.
So basically, he was like Kobe's. He was like his basketball mentor, but it was really for his like mental state, dude. And this guy was just saying that it was just that, dude. That Kobe was just different from everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Like you have to be obsessed and crazy about it, man.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was one thing where I was just like, all right, that's why I respected you. I was like, that's one of the first things you said to me. I was like, all right, he knows what.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't half-ass this because the crowd will know, bookers will know, everybody will know if you're half-assing it or whatever. Like everybody convinces themselves that they're doing it fully, but then like you see them on Instagram, like they're at a party instead of at a mic that night or whatever, and it's like that's fine. You need a social life, but what are you doing after the party? What did you do before the party to contribute to your dream or whatever? That's what I tell people. I'm like, if you're struggling to go to an open mic, if you're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do it, I'm like, just pretend this is your dream and what you want to do with the rest of your life, which is what you've convinced yourself it is. So you should be able to push yourself to go out there and do more. I think there's never too many sets you can do. A lot of people argue that it's like law of diminishing returns. Like, no, just get up there and bomb. If you're tired after you've done 5 sets that night and you're like, oh, okay, well, I could go get up a 6th time, but you're mentally done and you go up there, you're going to bomb, and that's good for you. You should be bombing. Bombing is great for you because you could have 5 great sets in a night, but you're not learning anything from a lot of those great sets. You're just repeating what you've been doing that you know works, and then that 6th one where you're tired and you're like, I don't want to say that stuff I've said 5 times.
Right.
I'm going to say something new at this one, and that new one bombs, and then you get to find out why it bombed. You're learning from that. You learn more from that than you learn from a kill, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will they'll have a good set and they'll stop after that. They'll be like, I had a good set. I'm going home. I'm calling it. And I tried that for like 2 weeks. Like, all right, good set. I'm ending tonight on a high note, so I feel good about myself. And then you get worse at stand-up comedy. You're not supposed to feel good about yourself when doing this. You're supposed to feel like a failure, which is probably why this is a good name for a podcast if you're a stand-up comedian. What's it called again? The successful failure. The successful failure. Yeah. That's what this is. You should successfully be failing every day. So that's you're doing this
mentality then, when you're going to these open mics, like on the 3rd one, you're just like, all right, I'm just a whole new set.
Yeah. Or like, all right, I'm going to try that new tag right there that I thought of today. I'm going to try this new bit. I'm going to hash out this premise on stage, which is usually a guaranteed bomb because you don't have anything yet. It's just a premise. Dude, and a lot of young comics go up with premises thinking that it's a bit, but it's just you saying something that you thought that has potential to be funny. And then when you're in front of a group of people who are all judging you, that's the best time, I think, to be like, all right, let's figure this out. What's funny? And then most of the time, it doesn't work. It's a bomb. Most of the time. But you learned what didn't work with that, and then you find little nuggets of it that do work. And that's productive, I think. I think you should bomb your ass off consistently, and that's how you get good at this. If you're not bombing, you're not learning.
Right. That's and again, to me, that was just a wild fucking thing, all right? Just that idea when I first started off doing stand-up, because everyone I saw, especially you guys, you're funny. You know what I mean? Everything I saw you do, every fucking skit or bit, I was with it. And then I would hear you go out and bomb, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, every night.
That's a wild, dude. That's so. So when you're hit, where do you like to go when you hit these open mics? Where are some of the places you like to go?
Third Wheel is my favorite place to go, because they don't charge comics to do it. A big thing in LA is $5 for 5 minutes, which is very common, and that's fine if that's your business model. But that gets expensive, especially if you want to hit 20 to 21 mics in a week, 25 sometimes. That's over $100. $5 a mic, 20 mics, that's $100 right there that you're spending on just going up in front of strangers. But Third Wheel in Hollywood off of Santa Monica Boulevard, they offer free mics. Every single mic is free. They've never charged for an open mic, and they say they never will. So that's why I go there. I choose to support that place with my time and my money, supporting their concessions, because they have alcohol. They have alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks, anything you need. This sounds like a commercial for Third Wheel. I just really like what they do for comics. So I like that place. I like the Improv a lot for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I think the Tuesday mic is my favorite open mic in the city. I think that's the best. Because you get up in front of the booker of the Improv. And then if you do well consistently in front of her, you get opportunities from it, and then she'll bring in the booker of Irvine, Brea, sometimes the booker of
wow.
Oxnard. Yeah, and then that's how I've got an opportunity to like host at Irvine Improv, to host at the Hollywood Improv, to cold open the main room of the Hollywood Improv. Is just all through that open mic, and just going up there with stuff that I worked on throughout the month. I go there about once a month for the Tuesday mic. I try not to go there too often unless I have something brand new that works to show the booker. Like, I don't want to go up there and be like, I'm experimenting with this or whatever. Because I don't think that's what it's for. It's an audition.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Especially if the booker's there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that, I mean, obviously there's a booker there, but I went to HaHa a couple weeks ago when the booker was there.
Yeah.
And I
was
just
there too.
Yeah, that's right. And I was just going there just, it was an open mic. I haven't been really doing a lot of open mics lately, just the improv stuff, just because I'm trying to get comfortable on stage. And I went up there and I obviously bombed. But I forget who it was, but I kind of went through it and then they were just like, yeah, maybe next time just come in with more material because the booker's here. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
You shouldn't be concerned with bookers. How long you been doing it?
A fucking month and a half, dude.
You shouldn't be concerned with bookers yet. You shouldn't. It took me.
Should I go to those open mics though, where the bookers are there? Like, because the first impression is very, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, have you gotten up at the Improv yet?
No, I haven't even put my name up in the Improv. To be honest with you, yeah.
Do you feel like you have a 3-minute set that is bulletproof?
No.
Okay, then yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Personally, I would not go.
Yeah.
But once you feel like you have a 3-minute set that is great, like, no doubt in your mind that stuff will kill. And if it doesn't work at the open mic, the booker of the Improv, knows if it's good or not. Once you have that 3 minutes, then you go.
Right.
And you show her that, and then she'll remember that. And then you wait until you have another 3 to show her that you're proud of, that is bulletproof. And then little by little, she starts to remember your name. She starts to give you lab spots or whatever. And then that's when it's worth it. But right now, if you don't feel you have a bulletproof 3, I wouldn't be putting my name in. Right. I'd be going and watching.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Because there's a lot of working comics.
That's how I met you, dude.
Yeah. I'm not a working comic. But there's a lot of working comics that go up at that open mic that are really good, and you can learn a lot from them.
100%.
Like, do you go and watch good comedy? Like, do you go, or do you just watch open mic?
No, I go watch a good comedy.
Okay, cool. Where do you go?
I'll go to like Comedy Store or like Improv.
Great.
Yeah, that's all. I don't really know the environment, so those are the like really only big 2 that I.
Those are the best 2 in the city.
Okay.
But yeah, Comedy Store is great because they'll let you, if you're a comic, go sit in the back and just watch for free.
No shit.
Yeah. Anytime you want, if there's space in the back, you just tell them I'm stand up, and they'll let you go sit in the back.
No shit.
Yeah, you don't have to pay. You don't have to buy drinks. Nothing like that.
Way.
Yeah.
When are they, like Mondays?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah. If there's space, sometimes it's sold out, so you don't have any luck. But if there is space in the back of the main room, the OR, the belly room, whichever one you want to go in at the Comedy Store, they will let you go back there and watch.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they won't bug you until they need your seat for a paying customer. Once that happens, they'll kick you out. But in the meantime, you just saw Bill Burr,
right? Yeah,
Tom Segura, like
free.
back to back for free. Yeah, you just saw a $200 show for free. Or if you just buy a ticket for $15, you're seeing a $200 show for $15.
That's very true.
But yeah, that's also a huge thing that nobody told me and I wasn't doing it, is go watch good comedy. Because I was just doing so many open mics because I thought that was the only thing to do. It's the biggest thing. And I wasn't allowing myself to also have the time to go watch good comedy. So that's what I learned in my beginning of my second year doing it, was go to the Improv, go to the Comedy Store, sit in the back and just watch it. And you'll learn so much.
And you just go up there and ask them? Or just I'm a comedian?
Well, at this point, I'm not in with the staff there. I wouldn't say I'm good friends with any of them. Some of them I know better than others, or whatever, and I'll just approach those ones and be like, "Hey, could I sit in?" And usually they'll know who I am, just based off doing mics or shows with them and stuff. But the stage you're at right now, you just go up to them and say, "Hey, I'm a new comic. Is it cool if I sit in the back?" And 99% of the time, they're gonna be cool about it.
What the fuck? Yeah. I had no idea, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a great resource that not enough comics take advantage of.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's school, is what that is. The open mic is practice. Watching pros work on their craft is school. Because you're gonna see them bomb, too, which is huge. To see these people who you think are bulletproof stand-up comedians go up there with their new premise, and it just doesn't work.
Jesus.
That's
fuck?
the best thing to watch in the world. That's the best learning experience for your confidence and to watch the joke grow too. I recommend, like, if you can. I watched this recently with Sebastian Maniscalco. I can never, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. I went and watched after he filmed his hour and his hour came out, him start the process over again. And I saw the growth of this 15 minutes he was working on over the course of a month and a half, 2 months. And that was a great learning experience. To see it start from, like, nuggets of information and stuff, like a nugget of a joke, into these great bits that are now going to be in his new special was, like, incredible to watch. They were funny out the gate because he's Sebastian. So he's got that goodwill at the top with the audience. And also he's one of the best in the world. He's a pro. So he knows how to, like, even if it's not the best joke yet, he knows how to make it good up front. So he wasn't bombing with it, but it wasn't crushing.
Right.
And then to see the joke turn into crushing over time just by consistently going and watching, it's the greatest course you'll ever take in stand-up.
That is wild, dude.
Everyone should be doing that if you're doing stand-up comedy.
Going back, you said a killer 3 minutes. How long were you doing stand-up until you felt like you had that killer 3 minutes?
Over a year.
Over a year? Fuck.
Yeah, until I had a 3 minutes that I thought was good enough for the booker of the Improv to see. It took me a year until I got up there.
What,
I was
dude?
going there.
Right,
because nobody told me, like, hey, like, have your shit together before you go there. So I started going to the improv mic when it started up again after the pandemic.
And you were getting pulled up there?
No, it took me over a year to get pulled.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
so happy it did. Because the first time I got up in front of Rita, I did really well, and then I got the callback spot for the next day. So then in her mind, I was somebody who out the gate did well. So that was her first impression of me was, oh, he had a great 3 minutes on the Tuesday mic. I want to bring him back tomorrow and see another 5. And then showed her that 5 minutes or whatever. Nothing came from it. Didn't expect anything to. And then the next time I got up was like 2 months later, and I had another 3 minutes that I was excited about. Did it. Got the callback spot again. So now in her mind, I'm 2 for 2. The only 2 times she's seen me, I've done well and she's liked my stuff. So then the third time I do it again. Another 3 minutes that she hasn't seen, it hits again. I get it again. 4th time, same thing. So now 4 times, I'm 4 for 4. She books me to do a spot in the lab. I do well on that show, and then I get pulled a 5th time, 5 for 5, do it again. Now I'm hosting the open mic, and now I'm getting another spot in the lab and a cold open in the main room. All from going 5 sets. She saw me on Tuesday. All 5 sets did well. Damn. And then offered 3 shows off the bat just from that, because that's the impression she has of me, because I didn't get up too early. And she said at like this town hall meeting they did before you started doing stand-up, like not too long ago, that if she sees you and she sees you bomb really bad, it will take time for her to get that out of her head. Like, she's going to watch you with an open mind, and she's going to be, like, appreciative that you're there and that you're trying hard. But that's still going to be there, that she's like, I just saw you do that a few months ago. It's like, how do I know you're completely past that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, have your bulletproof 3 before you go. So I'd say give it a year.
Yeah.
I would say, like, enjoy the open mics right now.
Right, yeah.
As much as you can, because they're pretty miserable at times. But just enjoy getting better at it, because it will happen. You will. You're very hard on yourself, is what I see.
Yeah.
Which everybody is at first.
Asian, right?
What?
It's an Asian thing, dude.
I guess. Yeah. I'm not saying nothing about race, but I can't. And that's normal. But just know that what you're because do you feel like you're bombing all the time? Do you feel like yeah. That's what you're doing is normal. Everybody's been through that.
It was just, honestly just last week in terms of the improv. Like, I started like feeling like I'm catching my foot. Feeling, you know what I mean? Like, I'm starting like. I'm doing like one-line zingers now, which I haven't experienced the past month. You know what I mean? So I'm getting comfortable now, which is why right now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for these open mics, because the improv I used to be nervous about it, but now I'm just like, okay, I can go up there and I've got everything together. But when I do the open mic, I just get so in my head, because it's like, you know, with improv, it's just they're throwing you ideas and they're throwing you and then obviously with open mic, it's just everything's in your head. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, right now in terms of where I'm at, especially because most of the open mics are 5 minutes, I'm just getting lost in my head. You know what I mean?
That's normal. That's gonna happen. It's what we're doing is unnatural to go up in front of a group of people into a microphone and be like, hey, these are my thoughts and who I am as a person. Do you approve as a group of who I am as a person? And if half the room goes, no, we don't approve, you lose. And then you go up, and you're going up there as yourself with your thoughts and what you think is funny. And if half the room goes, nope, then you have that in your head while you're up there. And it takes a long time. I'm not over that yet. Like, I don't think I will be for years past that point of like, damn. Like, do I mind bombing at an open mic? No, who cares? But bombing on a show it's still a devastating feeling.
100%.
But then again, you remember, like, okay, everybody's done this. Everybody bombs. Like, the greats bomb. I'm not one of the greats. What's to stop me from fucking bombing? Like, if Jerry Seinfeld bombed, I'm going to bomb atrociously, like 100,000 times. But I forgot what we were saying. I've been just giving long-winded answers.
No, dude, this is exactly, dude, this is perfect, man.
Okay.
This is, I want my guests to talk, dude.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, I feel like I'm saying too much.
Dude, I'm learning here. This is like awesome for me. Yeah,
good.
I'm
This
learning
is for you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Yeah,
for
it's just
you.
for me.
Everybody else,
like to the listeners.
Dude, everybody else is so bored right now. And I sound so narcissistic. I'm like, the key to being a successful comedian, as I'm sitting here in my Crossroads thrifted shorts and a t-shirt that I took at a concert from under somebody's seat, and then my shoes were given to me at my job. And then my socks are 9 years old. And I'm like, here's the fucking secret to being successful. Wearing underwear that I've had since I was 14. Jesus Christ. I feel like such a loser.
Well, that's a perfect fucking time to end this, dude. It's been a half hour. Thank you so much for your time, CJ. Let my 5 listeners know where they can find you on social media, dude.
CJ Price Comedy on Instagram. CJ Price Comedy on TikTok. Follow Boom Mic Comedy on Instagram as well. It's a weekly open mic that I help run in the Arts District of Los Angeles. And also Animal Fries podcast, available wherever you can get a podcast.
You got a podcast?
Yeah, no episodes are out yet. But I figure by the time anybody watches this, it will be out. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Well, dude, CJ, I appreciate you coming, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.